Right, so just like Kim Kardashian attempted to break the internet, Aisha Ibrahim is back and attempting to break our WhatsApp. We won't go onto the internet. Good evening and welcome once again, Aisha.
Thank you, Israel. It's good to be back. You know?
It's great to have you back.
So now is the time to get interactive. So you get your phones, tablets, and all the gadgets. Don't miss out. Let's get talking. You can join the discussion through our Facebook page, facebook.com/joynews on TV, on Twitter at Joy News on TV, and on WhatsApp. The number is 0560 800,000, and the rule is you don't call, you send your name and your location when sending that message. Please don't call. Now we have the rules clear. The presidential candidate of the Convention People's Party, Ivor Kobna Greenstreet, says Ghana is in a miserable state. That misery, he says, has been brought onto the country due to 24 years of failed policies from subsequent NDC and NPP governments. The question we asked, what do you think about the statement?
Recently, this economy is not booming as it's supposed to be, you understand? And then some day back, now we've been NPP has come NDC. So me, if like what they are saying, miserable, something like that, I think all these two political parties should be out, and then new ones should come, so that like we can see the difference. We are developing. Yeah, but things is changing. Like see now the roads now is in order, and then electricity. At first we are experiencing this doom so that they used to say, but now I see like things are like it's in order. So yeah.
No, I wouldn't agree that Ghana is a miserable state today. I feel something can be done about it. As time goes on, when a different government comes into power, for instance, he can change anything. Because in every situation, there's a possibility that things will get better. So I feel maybe the time isn't now. So I feel maybe later in the future, things will get better.
Consider our policies, either NPP or NDC. Their opinion is that when they come to power, like they want to, they don't continue what the other party have ended to, but they rather drop that project that is ongoing and continue with their project, and that has become very tough in this country. That even when we take about the working aspect about Ghanaians, we find it difficult to enter into any institution of work that we not want to do. So I agree with him.
For example, I don't think Ghana is a miserable state. I see that Ghana is cool and stuff, but I'm praying that maybe this year or the year coming, we'll see a change in Ghana.
I think Ghana is okay, but I think there's still more work to be done.
So this has not got people talking only on the streets, but on Facebook and on WhatsApp, people are still talking. Let's hear what people are saying on Facebook.
Right, so let's get on to Facebook. And a boy Nathan says, until you're giving a football, I'm sure, boot is what you're trying to say, you can coach behind the television. This is pure politics. Let's see what happens. My party will win. Hashtag Ghana wins 2016. Maulolo says, MPP had only 8 years, yet they did better than NDC, who have been in power for over 20 years. Yet cannot bring Ghana out of the mess, slums, etc. They copy MPP's ideas, yet cannot implement them competently. Why? NDC cannot save Ghana. And let's move on. Owa Hene says, see, okay, let's skip that too. John Paul says, help me tell Mr. Greenstreet that even when he's voted into power, some people of Ghana would still live miserably because one, they would see him to be incapable due to a state. Two, is only autocracy that can make Ghana a better place. Apana says, very, very true, Ivor, but we're simply blinded by their empty promises. I'm sure that's what you want to say. Owusu Bismarck says, tell us what you can do and stop this comparative. It won't win you an election, man. Nation's father says, Ivor, you and the NPP are campaigning for power, so why don't you attack the ruling party? but rather attacking the NPP. And let's move on.
And on WhatsApp, Kwaba G from Junejune, he says, Mr. Greenstreet delivered a well-composed speech with lots of apt and mastery. It, however, wasn't without the usual rhetorics. Anyone outside government does everything so perfectly for the people, but when they get the chance and the reality look at them in the face, then the excuses start coming in. Well, it was a good time he had, and I wish him well nonetheless. From Berima Kwaba G from Junejune. Okay, this last one from, you didn't add your name. He says, the day Africans we will get sense is the day Jesus Christ will come, because we have I think you're being so harsh on all of us. Well, let's move on. Now, most women will agonize over making sure their CV is up to scratch. But the secret is securing a job interview may be as simple as wearing a low-cut dress, a study has revealed. Now, the new research suggests that female applicants who included a photo of themselves in revealing clothing were 19 times more likely to secure an interview. Really? Do you think this is true?
Because they entice most of the people giving the interviews. Like, if they go in front of a panel and they see some of those things, like, you see, for the men like this, for the men, like, our feeling is with that. If we see something, we get a feeling. So if we see a woman who has that kind of top, and we see some of her body parts, like her breast or something, like, our mind can change anytime, and so maybe like they can give in so that they'll accept her for the interview and maybe take her when everything is taken into consideration. Even though maybe she's not qualified for the job, but then like this, what we see, sometimes can change our minds. So
it depends on what kind of job they are looking for and what kind of offer that the employer is ready to do. If the job demands that you dress in that manner, fine. But if the job doesn't demand that, then they will not be employed. I will not employ somebody who will expose herself to the whole world. I wouldn't say that, depending on the dressing and what kind of purpose the occasion will serve.
Compared to me, I don't think that's not true. Because maybe if you reveal your this, maybe you want to use that one to attract the interviewer. For me, if I'm an interviewer and then you wore that into my interview, that it wouldn't attract me. That wouldn't give you any undue advantage over others.
I think what the study did not point out is whether this works out if a female is interviewing a female.
Right, so I think the study is actually looking at the photographs you present as part of your CV if it is required. So if you have a photograph that shows a revealing part of probably your cleavage, then you're more likely.
And if it's a female assessing a female, does it work?
Well, yeah, so that's why they're saying the odds. So it could be that, of course, it probably may not work with a woman who is supposed to be assessing
another
the
woman.
CVs. Yeah. So, well, it's an interesting one.
So let's see what people are saying.
Ataya says that is a biased research and a subjective conclusion. Applicants for bartenders and hotel workers will dress like that for an interview. Chia. Michael says if you will secure a job by this approach, then honestly, you will have to defend your job by this means and get your promotion by this very means. But how do you get the job when the panel is mixed? The very first thing is you will lose it, and when the opposite is true, you wouldn't last in the job because there are more enticing ones that will take you out big time. And Kojo Buako, he has issues with us putting up a post like this at a time when Kennedy Points allege that the EC boss got a job because of sex. That's not what the story actually says.
That's not what it says. Yeah, Don't put words in our mouth.
It doesn't say. And then Ishak says, we are all not endowed equally with knowledge, skills, intelligence, ability, etc. And therefore, if this is true, then it is just another form of blessing to come across those crazy good for nothing in interviewers or managers or whatever. So nothing wrong.
On WhatsApp, Papa Sieku from Kufrija says, we are in a lust-filled world, and truly if the interview panel are not Christian, such a lady may get the job, but this is pure madness. If the panel have conscience, such a lady will be sacked like a hen. This one is from Berimakwa Baji from Jine. He sends, once again, he says, signs of the end time. These are the things men of today cherish, and not the competence of those seeking for employment. This is what is done, and square pegs are put in round holes all the time. Trust me, that research is very unscientific. We move on to the national chairman of PNC, Bernard Bona, who says the comments of the controversial MP Kennedy Japan, who's MP for Asing North, does not only amount to demonization of the commission, but also cast a slur on the reputation of the chairperson. Let's see what your take is on social media. Okay, let me check on I don't have any message on this. The messages coming are still on Ivor should ask Nkrumah why he gave our money to other African countries for independence. He's still talking about the first. Let's see what's on Facebook.
All right, Emmanuel says, just last week on live TV and Radio Mugabe, Marseille and Apia Stadium stated it clearly that Nana Addo has been having sexual affairs with the Chief Justice, Georgina Wood. That's why they're forcing the AC to provide those who registered with NHIS. Nobody saw anything wrong with that, but when it goes against them, Charlotte says he's a human, but Georgina Wood is an animal, right? You're asking that question. Certainly, Janim says she can't take him on because she knows the man is speaking from fact. I think these things should not be encouraged. In fact, let's move on.
From Kwaba Jinjini, Kwaba from Jin says Kennedy Japan is always known for this. Unfortunately, it belongs to a party whose leadership has no teeth to bite and condemns such unreasonable and unacceptable utterances. Many of your comments are coming. Let me take the last one for Papa Teku. He says, Ken goofed big time. He stooped so low with that comment. He is a disgrace to MPs. Let's check out which video is trending now.
All right, so the trending video, let's get to see it. This one I teased you during the headlines. Let's see what the full video.